Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. We have a pretty cool development, man. Pretty cool. I'm going to show you a little bit of Amber Rose. Then I'm going to show you another person who has woken up to the brainwashing that the left has put on so many people. And then we're just going to go through Amber Rose's history because she made a great statement. So many celebrities are doing it. Rogan was just talking about how many rappers are doing it. It's not just rappers. It's people in Hollywood who see that, you know, the fame and the fortune and the getting roles and all that stuff pales in comparison to the importance that reviving the country, that is so much more important than all of that nonsense. And there are a select few celebrities who are actually waking up to that. And surprisingly, Amber Rose was one of them. Let's get into it.
A lot of people were shocked with your, endorsement of Donald Trump. I mean, you're all about women's rights issues. I mean, what was the reason for the big change?
Is Donald Trump not for women's rights issues?
I mean, I guess a lot of people were
He's
asking.
trying to make America great again. That's for women too, right?
That's true. I mean,
okay, so there you go.
I know. Does him getting convicted change the way you view him?
Not at all.
I mean, do you think it'll help his chances getting reelected, or it'll hurt him?
I think it helps him more.
I think it helps him more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice and what happened, and they want to vote for him more than ever.
I know. I wanted to ask you. So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of changing their way of
I think we just did our research, and we're just we're not brainwashed anymore by the left. I can say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed, and I'm not anymore. So
that is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. The brainwashing. It's so true. It's so true. It's the left, and it happens to regular people. Of course, if you're going into MSNBC and you're only reading headlines, easy to fall into that brainwashing. But Hollywood's degree, that's why I'm so happy that it happened for her, because Hollywood's degree of brainwashing is so much more, because they don't just say, hey, do you want to be a good person? They say, hey, do you want to work? Do you want to make money? Do you want to lose these endorsement deals? Do you want articles to be written about you by the Rolling Stone that take what you say and twist it and contort it and make it into something hateful? Do you want to be aligned with those people? Because we'll align you with neo-Nazis. We'll align you with Nazis. We'll align you with MAGA. And you already know how we make those people look. It's so different. Do you want all those things that you've had to do in your journey to becoming this actor or this host or this music artist or this journalist? Do you want all of that to just be gone within a week, within one news cycle? You want us to make all that disappear? And then they're not talking about, hey, do you want to lose your job where you're making 60 grand? They're like, do you want to lose millions of dollars? Do you never want to be able, what else are you going to go and do? Man, it's tough. It's real tough. It must be for those people to walk away from stuff like that. And for her, it is definitely going to happen to her without a doubt. It is going to happen to her. But I like that she brought up, do your research 100%. If people did their research, and I wish black men are doing it. I wish black women would do it more. Actually look up what Kamala Harris was doing to young people of color in terms of locking them up. Look at what Biden actually did, what he was responsible for. The mass incarceration that has made so many black women so upset, broken their households, is largely in part because of him. You know what I mean? So for some reason that they're still stuck in this whole, I have to be a Democrat, Trump hates us. It sucks. It sucks to see. And Amber Rose was actually the same way. I don't have a post of it because there was a lot of swearing in it. But in 2015, she was like, he's an effing idiot, talking about Trump. He's an effing idiot. He's weird. I don't like him. I hope he's not president. That was 2015. Then, like everybody, she lived through a Trump presidency and she was like, okay, whatever. I guess whatever. Maybe he just didn't do much. Good. Thank God. And then went through a Biden presidency. And she was like, hold on a second. Wait a second. Hold on. I got to look into some things. Wait a second. I just paid how much? I live in California. What happened? 24 billion into homelessness. It disappeared. Huh? What? What's going on? She started waking up like so many people do. And then she actually posted this. First, she posted this. And then it was just a straight up Trump endorsement. She was like, let me just get right alongside Trump. The caption actually read, let me see here. It said Trump 2024, US, US, US. Let's go. You know, she made sure to tattoo on her forehead. Look, I love everything that's happening with Amber Rose, but the tattoo on the forehead is just ridiculous. It's her son's name. That's very nice. His name's Sebastian. That's great, but for you to be a beautiful woman, because she's pretty, she's a pretty lady, and for you to get a tattoo on your forehead, come on, that's just wild, absolutely wild. But then she came out and said this. She goes, y'all think Biden cares about black people? Sad. Do your research. I did. I'll always put women first. Now, she's been major in the whole, you know, she likes to be body positive. You know, I put that in quotations because it comes with a lot. She's very body positive for women. And I think she's probably going to start walking a lot of that stuff back as well. You know, or walking it in a different way, because there's a classy way to be body positive about women or sex positive about women. She says, y'all want biological men in women's sports? I roll. Trump supports the most reasonable compromise on abortion. Stop being brainwashed because we're people of color. Make your own decisions. Now, I've always known her to be white. Maybe she's mixed or something. I have no idea. I definitely know that her son is half black, so she probably saw a lot. And, you know, her ex-husband or, you know, baby father, whatever you want to call it, he also is black. So she was probably like, huh, there's a whole half of my family that really doesn't benefit from Biden being in office, or didn't benefit from him even being in politics to begin with. So she probably woke up on that front, you know, and then there you go. She woke right up. I got another person here who actually woke up from the brainwashing. This is actually a great follow. I never heard of this girl before. That's her name up there. I cannot pronounce that name. Last name Bloom. She's a great follow. Let's listen to what she has to say. I love to see women waking up to this whole thing.
The only one who thinks it's insane that the first felony conviction of a U.S. president isn't for violating our constitutional rights, which they have found that they have in court. It's not for illegally spying on Americans. It's not for Iraq or Afghanistan. It's not for illegal CIA coups or even drone striking a wedding, all of which are terrible things, much worse than misclassifying a $130,000 check for a spicy actress's NDA, who, by the way, also signed a letter saying that she never had any intimate relationships with Trump. And this isn't about whether you like Trump or not. That's irrelevant. You can hate Trump and still acknowledge that this is political theater, that this is a political witch hunt and an attempt at election interference. Because if this was truly about morality, if this was truly about what's right or wrong, if this was truly about no one is above the law, then Hillary Clinton would be in jail. Are we just going to ignore the fact that evidence that she was court ordered to bring forward? Are we just going to ignore the fact that Biden in court was found guilty of violating people's First Amendment rights? Just going to ignore the fact that Biden was found guilty of illegally and knowingly possessing documents that he shouldn't have had access to, and that the only reason they're not pressing charges is because he's too old and senile, but not too old and senile to run for re-election. Am I the only one who
You are not the only one, not by a long shot. You know, she's woken up, definitely. Again, she's a great follow. She's all about this. She's very, very mega. She's not playing around. I kept this comment up here because it just shows how many people are just so uneducated on what's happening, and they kind of just trot this out. I mean, this might not even be a real person. There's a lot of that going on when it comes to Instagram and Twitter. Bro broke the law doing hush money. It's not the law that he broke. First of all, he didn't break any law, but that's not even the law in question. While cheating on his wife, hey, that's not a law either. Okay, I'm just saying, how can y'all defend this? Laughing, and then 73 people are like, yeah, the hush money law. Whoa, you can't break the hush money law. Brr. Absolutely ridiculous. And I like the comment just underneath it. He's guilty of exposing the corruption of all politicians. That's what he's guilty of that for sure. That's definitely what he did for so many people, including Amber Rose. Now, Tucker Carlson has talked about this at length. I've heard him talk about it in 3 different interviews where he talks about the right people are finding each other. You know, I think even Patrick Bet-David's touched on it too. The right people are finding each other. They're really, and this is how they find each other. They're doing things like Amber Rose is doing. They're doing things like this lovely lady here is doing. They're starting to just come out and talk about this thing and say exactly what that woman said. Am I the only one? Am I the only one? And when you start doing that, other people come. Nah, you're not the only one. I feel the same way. And people are starting to gather up that way. And they should. More people in Hollywood start realizing, oh, I can actually, I want to do what I want to do. I want to vote for Trump. So why can't I? You know, Amber Rose did it just the other day. TMZ came and questioned her, and not much happened to her after that. You know, you have to start putting yourself out there in order to find more and more people. Give people permission to speak their mind as you speak your own. That happens constantly. You know, just very unlikely allies popping up everywhere. You know, it kind of reminds me of what happened with the pandemic. I don't know if you guys went through it, but I certainly did, where there are some people where you're like, they're never going to do the thing. And then they did the thing and you're like, you did it? And they're like, yeah, of course. And they got a mask on. They're like, what are you talking about? Of course he did. You know, what do you mean? And you're like, what? And then people who you thought for sure would, they're like, no, are you crazy? Why would I ever do that? No, there's no reason for that. And you're like, I can't believe it. And it's just like unlikely people just popping up out of nowhere. And you're realizing that you have this connection, but you never realize it until you speak out or you stand up for yourself, you know, in a certain way. So it's beautiful to see that happen with Amber Rose, taking the slings and arrows, because there's going to be a lot more of them, I'm sure. She's already, what was this article called? Yeah, here. This is what this article was called of her, right? She used the anti-trans rhetoric to justify her support of Trump, and it's beyond disappointing. So ridiculous. And then they're bringing up what she said in 2015, not 2016. She didn't say it when he was elected. She said it before. He's such an idiot. He's so weird. I really hope he's not president. Yeah. And I'm sure that's how she felt when she was all mixed up in Hollywood. I'm sure that's how she felt. And then Biden got elected and she went through the Trump presidency. Biden got elected and she was like, wait, things are changing. Things are oddly changing. And you know what it is? A lot of people who don't have kids, and I'm not blanket statement it, but there's a lot of people who don't have kids who kind of, you don't see things exactly the way people with kids do. And a lot of people who have kids, you instantly start thinking about beyond your lifespan. Instantly, right? Like some people, me, myself, I start thinking about, man, am I going to get to be a grandfather? Oh man, is that going to happen? Like, when is that? When could that possibly happen? How long do I have to live? You know, I'm starting to think about generations. A lot of people with kids, they end up doing that. And when they see a bad path that the country's going down, they start to go, okay, I want to see something different happen, you know? And I'm just glad that Amber Rose is one of those people. Hopefully she starts slowly walking back the promiscuity that she has, she's put on Front Street so much. That's, I'm trying to be nice there. But hopefully she walks all that back and she starts doing it in a different way. And yeah, happy, very happy for her. We'll see what happens. You know, as soon as you start supporting Trump, they start attacking you. They start twisting your words. They start branding you with certain things. You know, if she is white and she has her head shaved, you know, the next thing they'll be like Amber Rose, you know, skinhead. Oh man, who knows what'll happen. But for now, she's in a good place. I just wanted to bring that to you guys really quick. I am in the vacation studio. I got to get back to it. But like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. It all helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.